Tomorrow I'm coming after you, throwing all sliders, I'm getting you out.
Andrew Ducanich, I want you, buddy. If I can have you today, I want you today. I'll wait till Sunday. Just know when I get you, I'm gonna get you.
I want to strike out Elijah Green because West is better than East.
Jackson, there's just no way.
I want to strike out Ike Irish because no one's better than IMG.
And I want to hit a bomb off Jackson Ferris because who doesn't want to hit a bomb off Jackson Ferris?
I want to hit a bomb off of Jackson Ferris because Barb's better than IMG. Go Bucks.
Drew, if you're saying this, don't take me out again, please. It's on TV.
Jason, I'm coming for you in the game.
Dylan, we're going to war, buddy. We'll see who wins at the end of it.
Yeah, West on top, baby. West on top.
Go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Show who's best, baby.
Let's go West, baby. Let's go.
All-American game, baby.
It's the All-American game.
It's an All-American game.
It's the All-American game. This is the All-American game.
Well, if that video's any indication, and I think it is, the future of baseball's in very good hands and with a very, very good sense of humor. Hi there, folks. My name is Darren Sutton. This is the only show devoted to amateur baseball. This is Perfect Game Weekly presented by Rawlings. And those athletes were all the best in the class of 2022 heading into their senior year of high school at the Perfect Game All-American Classic. And that's where we'll start in this show. Hunter Pence. Yes, that Hunter Pence will join. He was my color analyst on MLB Network. He'll tell us what he saw in the future of the game. And then two great unique stories. How about a middle infielder that stands 6'6" and stands like Aaron Judge but wants to stay right there at shortstop? We'll get to know Dominic Hellman out of Washington. And then from Curacao, Cijntje. He's a talented pitcher who throws from the left side and throws from the right side. That's right. Against the best in the country, he's a switch pitcher. You'll love his story. He's going to join us on this show. And then the award winners who had incredible summers earning Perfect Game's annual awards. That is what will run up your flagpole on this show. Excited to do so. But let's get started with the warm-up. We start in Oklahoma City at the 13U Select Fest, and this is Nico Peinado, and that is his brother Austin, who surprised him 2 nights before the game. What an unbelievable moment. Nico would throw a scoreless inning on Sunday in the game. We'll dive deeper into that game a little bit later on in the show, but something tells me this moment is what he will remember about the 13U Select Festival. Oh my goodness, that's really all that matters. To the All-American Classic at Petco, Jamar Johnson homers on his final 3 swings for a walk-off title in this year's Home Run Derby. The number 2 prospect in the 2022 class shows why he is such an exciting player and not in a very tall package. It's amazing what he is able to do. Minor League Baseball now. Mets AA affiliate Binghamton Rumble Pony center fielder Jake Mangum. He put on a defensive show on Wednesday night. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Incredible diving catches versus New Hampshire. The 2015 PG preseason All-American in the Southeastern region is getting it done at the plate, too. He's slashing .419, .464 with a .651 slug in August, raising his season average from .242 to .295 in the process. He truly became a pure hitter at Mississippi State. And finally, to the big leagues. How about 7-time All-Star and 2007 PG alum Chris Sale? After missing last year with Tommy John surgery, he was immaculate on Thursday. In the 3rd inning of his 3rd start of the year, he K'd the Twins, Nick Gordon, Andrelton Simmons, and Rob Refsnyder on 9 pitches. 9. It's the 3rd immaculate inning of his career, tying him with Sandy Koufax as the only men to do it 3 times. It's the 103rd immaculate inning in the history of the game, which means it's happened only once every 41,000 innings. And so why not match energy with energy? Great highlights like that. Let's bring in the man who gave us so much energy at the Perfect Game All-American Classic as my analyst, along with David Ronsley, Hunter Pence. Hunter, before I get you going on the game, because I really want to look back through your eyes, we did see that immaculate inning from Chris Sale. What do you recollect about facing him with a bat in your hands?
You know, first of all, it was an honor to be a part of the Perfect Game All-American Classic, but facing Chris Sale in the major leagues, I'd seen him on a couple occasions, but he had thrown some of the nastiest sliders I've ever seen. It felt like they were coming from not even in the other batter's box and coming back for strikes, and he wasn't afraid to throw 5 straight changeups to me one time in Chicago, and also, you know, he could buzz you with 99, so he was pretty remarkable and got some nasty stuff for sure.
All right, let's go. Let's roll through those highlights. If you missed the best 22s in the country at the All-American Classic, Hunter and I will remind you what occurred, and let's get going. First off, Dylan Lesko out of the gates, the number 1 right-hander in the country, the Vandy commit. He was incredible, Hunter, to open things.
I haven't seen too much high school pitching in a long time, since I was in high school, basically. But this looked like a major league pitcher to me. And he has kind of a body frame and also kind of similar mechanics to a Max Scherzer. And I know that that's a crazy comparison because we're looking at a Hall of Fame career, one of the best ever. But this is one of the best pitchers I've ever seen at the high school level. Even though he's a big, huge, strong guy, he kind of has like a low release point, and it almost appears like the ball is rising. And we saw some great hitters miss by quite a bit.
Drew Jones, Vandy commit, next inning, infield single in the bottom half. Elijah Green doubled, really got things going. A sac fly from Pennsylvania native Pax Kling with that great hair. But it was Green's bat that stood out to you.
And I mean, he's rated the number 1. He's raw power, raw speed, and we got to witness a barrel from him, and it just jumps off of his bat like elite power. We saw Andrew Jones' speed, and we saw Elijah Green's power. It was a pretty remarkable inning.
And with a little bit of offensive support, and that's maybe all they would need, 3 dominating lefties took over. Out of North Carolina, Jackson Ferris. Out of South Carolina, Tristan Smith. He is a talented Clemson commit. And Brandon Barriera out of Florida, American Heritage High School. They were absolutely dealing, Hunter. They made a huge statement, all 3 lefties.
I think the talent and the young kids are getting so much better than they ever have been. And we were watching 3 straight lefties with, 95-plus fastballs with a lot of carry, a lot of command. They were in control of their bodies, and it was phenomenal stuff. They're going to have great careers to watch moving forward.
Bottom of the 3rd, Luke Heyman, 2-run shot. It shocked me. Did it shock you? Certainly. It was a 3-0 lead with Heyman's homer.
This ball got out of this ballpark in a hurry. It was a line drive, 5 rows deep, just absolute cannon. He's not only a beautiful mullet, he's got a beautiful swing.
Then in the top of the 6th, New Jersey native Naz Muley did allow a run. He had already played defensively earlier in the game. He had referenced wanting to hit 100 in the game. Hunter, he did hit 100 miles an hour. Just a well-rounded dude.
One of the most impressive players. He definitely stands out in your mind. The fact that he played shortstop, he's fast, and he throws 100. What an incredible athlete.
Young man from Curacao comes on in the top of the 7th. Cijntje gets outs from the left and from the right. Unique to say the least. Part of what was a no-hitter, but Cijntje incredible.
We saw everything in this Perfect Game All-American Classic, and second to none, to say the least, the both-handed pitcher.
Bottom of the 7th inning, the East broke it open. Termar came up with an RBI single. Termar Johnson, Brady Neal, the youngest man in the game, with a ground rule double, and R.J. Austin with an RBI single. It was 8-1. You were right on top of Austin's single. You were saying, I'm loving his approach, and he made you look good.
He just kind of was really locked in, his presence, his posture, and just really great swing mechanics. But also, Termar Johnson with the single, I believe it was a chopper where he beat it out. He has over 500 at-bats in Perfect Game, and he's batting .380. And every single at-bat, he found a way to just be in the middle and good things happening to him, but he did a lot of things right where you can see how he can succeed against high-level pitching, and he's going to give you just incredible incredible barrel skills, hand-eye coordination, won the home run derby. He's one of the most impressive players to watch, even though, he's a shorter guy. He's, they say 5'8", but he is a big presence in the batter's box, and he just was in the middle of everything.
Top of the 9th inning, a no-hitter was rolling 3 outs away. Ryan Clifford with a great play, taking a base hit away from Tommy Specht out of Iowa in right field. Then Riley Stanford came out of the pen. Hunter got the final 2 outs, and then they celebrated the no-hitter and the East victory.
Yeah, very tough play for Ryan Clifford. Coming in a big league stadium, a lot of times you're dealing with the lights right on that ball, and he stays with it, makes a great play. I definitely thought they were going to break the no-no right there because you had finally mentioned it in the 9th, but he saves it right there. And then Riley Stanford, incredible stuff that he's actually the teammate of Dylan Lesko. I'm sorry to any high school teams that have to come in and face those 2 pitchers because they are as good as it gets in high school, and Riley Stanford with puts the stamp on the no-hitter, brings the energy, brings the enthusiasm, and the great celebration to close out the no-hitter and the win for the East.
Yeah, the most valuable player of the game was Luke Hellman, and after the game, our own Danny Wexelman had a brief but fun conversation with Luke.
It's just exciting that I be able to play in this stadium and play with the best players, and happy that and blessed that I could able to do that. So thank you.
Thank you, my friend. It was fun to call a game with you. A lot of fun. I look forward to doing more in the future.
Same to you, Darren. It was an absolute privilege, and what a joy to watch some of the best talent in the nation, the best talent in the nation at Perfect Game All-American Classic. What an honor it was.
When we come back on Perfect Game Weekly, we're going to get to know a Perfect Game All-American who has the size of Aaron Judge and the power of Aaron Judge, but plays in the middle infield. Dominic Hellman, who is he? Find out when we come back on Perfect Game Weekly.
There's a new king in Queens. Francisco Lindor is headed to New York.
New York is great. It's a place where you can be whatever you want to be.
Every day I challenge myself to break down barriers.
Seeing others live their passion, it makes me push harder in all that I'm doing.
Man, that dude Lindor is fearless.
I'm always trying to push myself further as an athlete.
My style is limitless, just like my city.
Confidence, passion, commitment, style. That's Queens for ya.
Custom gear is important to me because it just represents who you are. Me as a kid, I remember I used to always look up at all the big leaguers at the time and see what they would wear. You couldn't get that stuff, in the stores. So now being able to customize basically everything I wear on the field, and it's one-on-one, I think that's just something special. I worked really hard to get here, and we get to do some swag and put your own flavor onto the field and show people, who you really are. Customs are one-on-one, just like me. G-Form, made for the moment.
Hi, I'm four-time Gold Glove winner Charles Johnson, and you're watching PerfectGame.tv.
Welcome back to Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. Look, at the Perfect Game All-American Classic, we love Tamar Johnson, the powerful left-handed swing out of Georgia, winning the home run derby. But the greatest conversations were about Dominic Hellman, the young man out of Washington who plays middle infield and stands 6'6", and nearly knocked the roof off the Western Metal Supply Company at Petco Park. It's huge power. It's an Oregon commit, and let's get to know the young man out of the great Northwest, Dom Hellman.
I'm Dominic Hellman. I'm from Mill Creek, Washington. The lesson that my dad taught me is that life is like taking a test. If you don't prepare for it, you're not going to pass, So it's the same thing with baseball. I'm a firm believer in that hard work does pay off. I was just a lengthy kid with a slow 60, and then throughout the years I just got in the weight room, put on about 40 pounds, and then ran the parachutes on the field to make my 60 drop, and now I'm in great shape. I'm here to prove that I'm the tallest and best shortstop that there is here. A lot of people doubt me, saying oh, he's not gonna play short, he's not built for that. And once I'm playing short, I just want them to realize yeah, I can play any position, especially short, and I can stay there for a long time. Being compared to MLB players already is just astounding and just humbles me so much. If I go to college, then throughout college, I'll be a two-way until they say, hey, you're gonna get this amount of money for pitching, and then you're gonna get this amount of money for hitting and playing short. I guess I'll just, from there, that's when I'll make my final decision at what will be best for me in my future. A lesson that my dad taught me is that if you say you're gonna do something, do it. He would give me a curfew, and he's like, hey, be home by 11. And if I'm late by even 2 minutes, then he'll ground me for a week. I had a bad game. Even though we won, I still was kind of pouty. He's like, hey, don't be like that. Pick up your teammates. That one game isn't gonna determine your life and stuff. My mom named me after Dominic in the Fast and Furious, and that's her favorite character, so yeah. I feel like I drive like him. I drive pretty good. Both of my parents had Acura Integras with like exhaust system, the rims, everything, and the body kits, and they just tried so hard to be the real life Fast and Furious, you know. But it's pretty funny that they carry that legacy on us, naming me, so yeah.
So here's the interesting thing about Dominic Hellman. He's going to try to stick in the middle of the infield. He's an elite basketball player too, which there's no surprise about that. And the biggest jump of them all is his jump in his 60 time. As a man who stands 6'6", how in the world do you get under 7? Incredible speed, incredible size, incredible story. When we come back, a conversation with a young man born in Curacao who moved to Florida to sharpen his skills. A switch pitcher and a perfect game All-American when we come back on Perfect Game Weekly.
This whole group went through a pandemic. They lost their high school season. They didn't play at all last year. They had to recreate themselves.
What you're seeing is the best versus the best.
We're the best guys, hands down, and I stand by that for sure.
1, 2, 3, 5, time! That one's crushed to left field. Toward the wall it goes! Gone! The perfect game All-American Classic home run. He's in. A little bit of noise off that bat. Oh, yeah! Run down with a slide. The play is made out there. Oh, baby, he came up with it. Into the catcher's mitt. The East wins the perfect game All-American Classic, and they do it with a no-hitter in this legendary game.
What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you?
Perfect Game Weekly presented by Rawlings, recapping the perfect game All-American Classic. Cijntje is a young man who we loved. We adored watching him work, and he worked from both sides of the mound. He's going to spend time with us now. Lo, what was that experience like? You've worked very hard. You've accomplished so much originally from Curacao and now living in Florida. But what was that experience like to pitch from both sides at the All-American Classic?
I mean, it was, I'm going to keep it honest, like 2 months or 3 months ago, I didn't know what PG All-American was. And then I got invited to the PG National. And then I do my thing. And then I got invited to play in the PG All-American. After that, I was in San Diego. And then when we go to the hotel, we sign a lot of cards. And then we go to the hotel, to the room, and I see all the equipment. And over there, I was able to see my glove. And we spent times with the guys, doing great, have fun. And I was able to see Jurrangelo Profile too. And it was honor and blessed. And then Eric Osmer came in the dugout and he asked us if we want to see the clubhouse. We was like, yeah. And we was in the clubhouse just having fun with these guys, and good experience. I mean, awesome.
What an incredible answer. Let's focus on that 7th inning. Marion Boyd, you faced him throwing right-handed. You got up to 95 miles an hour. You got a ground out. Jackson Holliday, you faced him left-handed. You got another ground out to second. And then Jason Jones, you touched 94. You struck him out. Tell me how those 3 appearances and matchups went for you.
Every time when I pitch, I have to take more time in the bullpen. But there wasn't a lot of time, so I can just work on myself to get prepared to pitch in the 7th inning. But I do my thing and just keep focused and pitch.
You're actually a natural left-handed thrower, correct?
Yeah, correct.
When did you decide to take on this craziness, throwing from both hands?
It was something that I do since I was a kid. Since I was 6 years old, I was going to the field with my dad, but he bought me a glove, but every time when I go to the field, I left my glove at home, and I was using his glove. And then my dad is a catcher, and I want to be a catcher just like him, and I want to be a catcher and a shortstop, and then I start throwing with my right-handed.
Both your dad and your grandfather, excellent baseball players. Please explain.
Yeah. My dad, every time, since I was he was a kid. Everybody's tell me about him. He was good. And my granddad, he was the best pitcher in Curacao. He threw like 3 or 5 no-hitter in Curacao, and it was good. And I mean, I came from a family that plays sports, and my family played baseball, and I mean, it's a family of sports.
Do you hope to keep throwing from both sides as long as you can?
Oh yeah, it's something that I want to do in my career. I want to continue doing that, and I want to be a starter too in the MLB.
Yeah, I can't wait to see your journey. Do me this, because this is a shorter show. Please come back with us and talk for us a lot longer. Will you promise me you'll do that?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, Los Cijntje, incredible. 95 from the right side, 88 from the left side at Perfect Games All-American Classic. Incredible insights, a young man from Curacao, great family history. When we come back, we'll take a look at Perfect Game Weekly's annual awards handed out at the All-American Classic and a quick peek at the Select Festival. Incredible highlights, the finest 13U players in the land. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.
Yeah. Hey, I'ma get right in my bag. Why you gonna try to get mad? I'ma zip right. My sweat. Sucks me up.
It started with a simple idea: to break what the game knows, to evolve the standard. It's time to revolutionize defense. Printed in 4D for a breakthrough in technology. Ultra lightweight, resilient, form fit, game ready and pro tested. Designed for a revolution. Engineered for defense. The Rev 1X.
Hi, I'm Tom Flash Gordon, 3-time All-Star and World Series champion. You're watching PerfectGame.tv.
Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. A quick stop at Perfect Game's 13U Select Festival, the finest in North America at that age group. On campus, Oklahoma University. Grady Emerson from the West Squad out of Texas. Beautiful swing. 3 bags, 4 bags in the end, and inside the park home run. Incredible to see the beautiful swing of the young man out of Argyle, Texas. Great defense, Jaden Stroman, younger brother of Marcus Stroman. Not once, but twice. Fine glove work at short and at third for Jaden Stroman, young man out of Medford, New York. Christian Sheffield, his dad, should be Hall of Famer Gary Sheffield. He nearly left the ballpark. This is a college field, by the way, folks, on campus at OU. This is a man just beyond playing Little League. What a beautiful swing for him. To the ninth, Nico Penato, after the surprise visit by his brother, with the strikeout and the storybook ending. A West win, 5-4. What an incredible weekend for the best 13U players in the land. I had the good fortune of emceeing the awards banquet the night before the game was played on campus at OU, and I asked at one point all the athletes to raise their hand, by a show of hands, how many of you hope to be a perfect game All-American in what is that, about 3 or 4 years? Every single hand went up. All 36 of them said, I want to be a perfect game All-American. With that in mind, let's honor some PG All-Americans. The Baseball America Pitcher of the Year, the #1 right-handed pitcher in the country, headed to Vandy, is Dylan Lesko. The Rawlings Defensive Player of the Year, he too headed to Vandy. It was a great moment as Andrew Jones presented the award to his son, Drew Jones. The DK Diamond Kinetics Offensive Player of the Year, Termarr Johnson, Can't believe he's still an uncommitted athlete. The Jackie Robinson National High School Player of the Year, Miami commit, the #1 player in the land, Elijah Green. And a special mention, because we all have been thinking about what Ida has done to Louisiana and the South, and as it made its way through our country, Gavin Guidry was the winner of the Nick Adenhart Award. It was last year in Lake Charles, Louisiana, that Guidry had to deal with multiple storms, a very severe illness, helped to build his city out with all of his young friends. They had shovels, they cleaned up, they worked hard. Congratulations to Gavin Guidry, the winner of the Nick Adenhart Award, Overcoming Adversity. I want to thank Hunter Pence for his insights and being one heck of an analyst at the Perfect Game All-American Classic. Great to know Washington's Dom Hellman and Louis Cijntje, who I may never say his name exactly right, but we love who this young man is out of Curacao. And we love you hanging out with us. If you love amateur baseball, you have found the right spot. My name is Darren Sutton. We'll see you next time. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.